You're watching USA News Hub, your home for breaking headlines, trending sports stories, and exclusive updates from across the nation. When a parent speaks, the world listens. And this week, Stefanos Tsitsipas' mother broke her silence. What she revealed about her son's emotional struggle with Paula Badosa left the tennis world stunned. In a sport defined by mental toughness, discipline, and the ability to fight through pressure, it's easy to forget that the athletes we watch every week are human. They feel, they love, they break. And sometimes, those emotional struggles bleed into their careers. This week, the tennis world was reminded of that human side when Julia Salnikova, the mother of ATP star Stefanos Tsitsipas, publicly opened up about her son's highly followed and deeply complicated relationship with WTA star Paula Badosa. For years, fans called them Tsitsidosa, tennis's golden couple, a duo that exploded into the spotlight with the kind of viral energy usually reserved for Hollywood relationships. They trained together, traveled together, posted together. They looked inseparable. But behind the scenes? It wasn't the fairy tale social media made it seem. And now, we finally understand why. The world first caught wind of the romance in May 2023 during the French Open. Fans online noticed the subtle clues, the touching glances, the matching posts, the timing of their appearances. Internet detectives put the dots together, and suddenly, tennis had its newest celebrity couple. And once they confirmed it, the tennis world went wild. They shared training clips. They attended each other's matches. They traveled as a unit. They even launched a public joint Instagram account dedicated purely to their relationship. To many fans, it felt genuine, even beautiful. Two players at the top of the tennis world, supporting each other while navigating the stresses of a brutal sport. But even then, cracks were starting to show. Because what the public didn't see were the challenges that would later tear them apart. In 2024, things took a dramatic turn. Stefanos and Paula announced their breakup on social media. The world was shocked. Fans couldn't believe that a couple so public, so united, so perfect, had suddenly fractured. 3 weeks later, though, they stunned everyone again. They were back together. People cheered. Fans tweeted, "Tsitsidosa lives." Media outlets called it the tennis reconciliation of the year. But behind the smiles, the truth was more complex. Because as Tsitsipas' mother revealed this week, the relationship was already showing signs of strain. The travel, the long-distance scheduling, the injuries, the emotional toll. And then, in June 2025, the couple broke up for the second time, this time permanently. No reconciliation. No rumors of a return. Just silence, until now. In a rare interview with Sports Russia, Julia Salnikova, a former professional player herself, opened up about the challenges her son faced over the past year. And she didn't sugarcoat it. The interviewer asked her directly, what was the hardest part of Stefanos' season? Her answer: not injuries, not losses, not coaching changes, but his breakup with Paula Badosa. Julia said, if we're talking about the last year, then, of course, it was his breakup with Paula Badosa. That wasn't easy either. She went further, revealing something powerful about how men deal with heartbreak. When I was a professional tennis player in my youth, I thought a man shouldn't react so emotionally. But it turns out men are perhaps even more sensitive in this matter. That one sentence shocked fans. Because what she said wasn't just about Stefanos. It was about the reality that emotional pain doesn't care about gender, age, or profession. Athletes are not robots. And Tsitsipas, despite his power, his athleticism, and his talent, felt this breakup deeply. Julia then concluded with something even more telling: the relationship wasn't easy for him. Short, simple, but revealing. And suddenly, the tennis world understood something they didn't before. On the surface, Stefanos and Paula were a dream couple. But beneath the surface, the challenges were real and enormous. Greece long distance. Their tournament schedules rarely aligned. Men's and women's tours run differently. Some weeks they were on opposite sides of the world. Love doesn't always survive that. broken heart injuries. Badosa's chronic injuries disrupted her season and her routine. Tsitsipas faced his own health issues. Two athletes dealing with physical pain often struggle to support one another emotionally at the same time. Their relationship wasn't private. It wasn't quiet. Fans, commentators, paparazzi, everyone watched their every move. Not every couple can survive life under a spotlight that bright. Brain mental health impact. Salnikova didn't go into detail because she said she had agreements with the team, but she made one thing clear: her son suffered, and not just physically. Emotionally. This breakup didn't happen because they didn't care. It happened because life, timing, and circumstance were too heavy to overcome. Over the past year, Stefanos Tsitsipas hasn't been the dominant force he once was. His ranking dropped. His confidence fluctuated. His results became inconsistent. Fans blamed coaching. Some blamed fitness. Others blamed the changing pace of the ATP Tour. But according to his mother, the emotional fallout from the relationship played a much bigger role than anyone realized. Breakups take a toll on anyone. But for a professional tennis player who lives alone on the road, traveling week after week, it can be crippling. Salnikova's comments made one thing clear. Tsitsipas didn't just lose a relationship. He lost emotional balance, something essential for elite performance. While Tsitsipas' mother spoke gently, she also implied something important. The relationship was not easy for Paula either. Badosa battled injuries for 2 straight seasons. Back problems, stress fractures, chronic pain. Those injuries kept her out of tournaments, cost her ranking points, and forced her into long stretches away from the tour. And when both partners are fighting their own battles, sometimes love simply isn't enough. Paula and Stefanos were never against each other. They were fighting life, pressure, expectations, and circumstance. And after 2 breakups, they simply couldn't keep fighting anymore. Julia Salnikova's comments are important for another reason. They remind fans that emotional pain affects performance. That heartbreak can derail confidence. That family matters. That athletes aren't machines built to win on command. Stefanos Tsitsipas may be a global tennis star, but he is also a son. A young man. A human being who felt something deeply and struggled to move past it. Her words didn't attack Paula. They didn't blame Stefanos. They simply revealed the truth. The relationship wasn't easy. And sometimes, that's all people need to hear. Tsitsipas and Badosa will forever be remembered as one of tennis's most public, emotional, and talked about couples. But that chapter is over now. What comes next, for both of them, is a new beginning. For Stefanos, rebuilding confidence. Rebuilding focus. Rebuilding his career. For Paula, healing physically. Finding stability. Returning to form. Breakups hurt. Love fades. But life goes on. And if there's one thing tennis teaches us, it's this: every match. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that's shaping America and the world. We'll see you in the next update.